Hello, welcome to the brilliant, beautiful sunshine here in Sheffield on day 12. We're at the halfway stage of 4 brilliant quarter-finals. Coming up, we'll give you all the details of Barry Hearn's latest plans for World Snooker. There's been a big press conference here in Sheffield. But of course, let's get to the serious business of who's made it through to the semi-finals. The first name is Judd Trump. Well, not surprisingly really, after leading Ding Junhui 12-4 overnight, Ding was unable to get out of the blocks this morning and was facing the metaphorical mountain to climb. It took Judd about 15 minutes, so he was quite happy with his brief morning's work.
I had to keep my foot on the gas in Ding missed early on, and I made another good break, so I feel superb in the balls. I feel very confident. My whole game is sort of come together this week.
Do you feel as though this is, notwithstanding what happens over the next 6 days, the best season you've had so far? 4 massive finals, 2 wins in Australia, really close against Ronnie in the Champions of the UK, and then beating him in the World Grand Prix. Is this the best you've been?
Consistently, yeah, by far. Every tournament I've gone into, I felt like I could win it. It's only taken someone playing extremely well to stop me. Mark Williams in a couple of tournaments has played very well, and then Ronnie in another couple, I could have been up there with 5 or 6 tournaments. Just the fact that the standard is so high nowadays. So I've done really well this season, because before I was kind of a bit of an inconsistent player. Now I can kind of call myself quite consistent.
So Judd Trump through to a 3rd Crucible semi-final, but before he disappeared to contemplate one of the biggest matches of his life, we had to put him to the ultimate test on the Betfred World Micro Snooker table, even smaller than the topiary here outside the main entrance to the Crucible. So would he once again prove to be the ace in the ultimate pack? This is called the Micro World Championship. It's as many as you can pot in a minute. We couldn't find snooker balls, so we have to make do with pool balls. Doesn't matter if the black goes in early on, not a problem. But the key with this is, if you go in off with the white, the break's over. Judd Trump, 3, 2, 1, you're live. Okay, solid start here from the ace in the pack. There's one down. Oh, it's an unbelievable technique. Oh! Well, there's a bit of tactics going on. Oh, and he's gone down. Not bad, not bad. Let's count them up. What have we got? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not bad. 6. Same as Neil Robertson.
Thank you.
Well, not a bad effort there from Judd Trump. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. He slots in just behind Neil Robertson. 6 balls, 23 seconds. And still the man at the top, the multiple ranking event winner, Mark the Pistol Allen. I wonder if anybody can put him off the top spot between now and the end of the championship. So Judd Trump, the first man into the semi-finals. The second was Shaun Murphy. Remember, he trailed 6-5 at one stage against the debutant Anthony McGill, but that fairy tale run from the Scot they call Licence to Thrill had to come to an end eventually. Shaun Murphy through to his first semi-final here at the Crucible in 6 years. He was typically generous about the Scot after the match, and of course delighted that he makes a welcome return to the one-table setup.
Yeah, those matches are always going to have swings and turns and things that go up and down. Players aren't going to play well the whole match. It's just one of those things about this tournament. When you have matches of this length, there's always going to be some shots here or there that turn games, and these matches are all about momentum. If you can start building up a head of speed and build up some momentum through a match like this, you can take a few frames and that can make the difference.
Before we talk about your semi-final, a quick word from you about Anthony McGill. He's been absolutely brilliant value at this championship, and it's quite important for the future of the game that debutants come here and sometimes aren't overawed, and they do show that we've got a new generation waiting in the wings, snapping at the heels of guys like you.
He's done exactly the right thing. He's come here with a smile on his face, nothing to lose. He's endeared himself to lots and lots of people around the world who love this sport and will love it when we all stop playing. And I think people like Anthony McGill, and there's plenty of them on the tour. The tour's very strong. People like that and more, they're the future, and we've seen what's coming.
So 2 of the 4 spots have already been taken in this year's Crucible semi-finals. The other 2 quarters will finish later on this evening. Now, there was quite a buzz around this place at lunchtime because World Snooker had a press conference to announce some of their plans for the next 5 years. More tournaments, more prize money. It all sounds pretty promising. Well, so many announcements. We better talk to the main man in the hot seat, Barry Hearn, Chairman of World Snooker. So first of all, Barry, loads more tournaments to come. English Open, Irish Open, Scottish Open. When will that all come into play?
That's 2016-17 season, so we've given ourselves a year to get this home series worked out. We've already got the Welsh. It seemed unfair to me that we don't have the Scottish, the Irish and the English. So we've got 12 months to get it organised, get the right venue, so the customer's going to have a great experience when he goes, and put the broadcast deals in place, which I don't think will be too difficult. And we'll be off and running for 2016-17, as we will with the European Open, which will be a similar size ranking event that will travel around Europe.
And as far as the players are concerned, a £1 million bonus for a player who wins all 4 of the home tournaments. Is that correct?
I think I can lay that off for about £500,000, you know. So we thought it'd be fun just to say, boys, you know, you got £1 million if you win all 4. It's a big ask, isn't it? I mean, it's a huge ask, but then you don't get £1 million out of Barry Hearn for nothing. You know that. You've got to earn it. We don't just give it to the top 16, you know. Sorry, but I think the biggest thing is that, you know, we've had 5 years and we've done well. We've done well, and the players have played their part, and the management behind World Snooker has done a blinding job, brilliant job. So now we're looking at, you know, where we're going. So next year we need a little. I think we need to look after a few lower ranked players coming through on the prize money structure. So that'll be a tweak for about £500,000 next year. That'll help them a little bit, not too much to make them soft, but it'll help a bit. The year after we've committed, we're going for it. It's £10 million prize money. And the year after that, we've committed. We're going for it in the World Championships, £2 million prize money, World Championships alone, £500,000 a winner. So no excuses. Don't tell me you're tired or you had a late night or the kids kept you awake. You know, the proper sport, proper men, and proper money at stake.
And judging on the success of the qualifying event, I was there on the last day at Ponds Forge. It was absolutely brilliant. Despite there'll always be players who finish 17th, 18th, 19th who could justify that they have reason to feel unlucky, but judging on the success of that this year, that is here to stay, and there won't be any rite of passage at any other tournament for the top 16, only the World Championship.
Correct. And I feel a lot of sympathy for those guys that nearly made it. I mean, I've been a nearly person in millions of different, hundreds of different sports all my life. I nearly made it. I'm sorry for you, but they're the rules, you know, and it is tough and it's brutal. But the qualifying competition was a soap opera event in its own right, and I just looked at it and think this is a TV event here waiting to happen, because the drama is real, and it is all about dreams being achieved and dreams being shattered, and people can relate to that, you know, and that's why the sport has to be brutal. There has to be Graham Dopp's blip test and his mountain climbing, because that's how we judge the perception of the support. Is it real? Is it something that's just comfortable, or is it brutal? Brutal sells.
Okay, and just finally, I know you tear your hair out with this question, but I have to ask it because so many people are so passionate about it. The World Championship staying at Sheffield up to and including 17, the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
How far down the road are you on extending that contract? Because obviously anybody who loves the sport and has been here to Sheffield doesn't want it to leave.
Listen, please, I hope no one takes this as a sign of weakness, because it would be a mistake. I want the World Championships to be here for the rest of my life. Now, it's a purely personal thing, if you like to put it that way, but I've been here since 1977. I've seen moments of drama that I will never forget my whole life, and we deserve to keep this event here. It does rely on the support of Sheffield City Council, and it does supply, I think, on the support of the BBC, our two major partners. We couldn't have a better relationship, and I don't see any reason why both contracts shouldn't be extended in the very near future. Everyone's going to be sensible, including us, and we're going to keep it here forever. So really, you know, as I say, don't take me as an easy lunch, you know, but this is as near to a certainty of staying as you'll find.
Okay, I think you'll reassure a lot of people. And just finally, on a lighter note, who do you think is going to win this year?
Well, you know, I was asked that question last night, and as chairman of World Snooker, it would be quite wrong of me to actually predict a player. So I'm going to come out with something extremely trite. And the answer is, the only thing that wins at snooker this year is snooker. This is the greatest advert for our game we've ever had, in one of the greatest events we've ever had. And the winner is snooker and all those associated with it.
So much to talk about, there always is, with a Barry Hearn press conference. Ivan Hershowitz has joined me on the hallowed arena floor for a quick reflection. I guess of all the things Barry spoke about, fantastic news for Manchester, for Belfast and for Glasgow. 3 brand new tournaments the season after next.
Yeah, I mean, we often get messages from fans in Scotland and Ireland and around England saying, when are we going to have our own tournament? So, yeah, great news for them, and great news for the players as well. I mean, they're going to be playing for more prize money, £10 million prize money, 500 grand for the winner of the World Championship. I mean, imagine that if a final goes 17-all. You know, playing for £500,000 in the final frame is going to be incredible.
That's almost enough to cover your wages for a year.
Almost.
Okay, right, back to the serious stuff. Judd Trump, tremendous value for his win over Ding Junhui. I know Dennis Taylor picked Judd as his favourite before the tournament began. And if, and it is a big if, Judd were to face Ronnie O'Sullivan, that would be a match that would have the fans salivating, and many people would fancy Trump could win that.
Yeah, interesting that Betfred went 2-1 on Trump as a favourite to win the tournament earlier on today. I mean, I wonder when was the last time that O'Sullivan wasn't the favourite to win this tournament, but Trump just looks in control of every department of his game. He's scoring well, his safety looks good, he's very confident, and if he did play O'Sullivan, like you said, a big boost for him would be the fact that he'd beaten him in the World Grand Prix final last month, and he knows that he can do it on the big stage.
Okay, brilliant stuff from Judd, and also a great performance from Shaun Murphy, finally bringing the fairy tale run to an end as far as Anthony McGill's concerned. Great form from Shaun Murphy, his first semi-final for 6 years. But what about McGill? He's been a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely. I think the only disappointment for him would be that at 10-8 today, he missed a green with a long rest when he had a good chance to close to 10-9. And if he could have got to 10-9, even 10-all at the interval, that might have made it really interesting. But no, I mean, I'm sure there'll be no real regrets from him. He's had a fabulous tournament. I'm sure he'll be in the top 16 before long, and then he'll probably be in there for a very long time.
Well, and that was certainly what Alan McManus said after he secured his first round match here with that fantastic deciding frame clearance against Mark King. He said it is only time before Anthony McGill joins the game's elite. So thanks very much, Ivan. 2 more quarter-finals to finish. It's 8-all between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stuart Bingham. Barry Hawkins and Neil Robertson. That's been so epic they weren't even able to complete the 16th frame. Hawkins leads 8-7, and then we will be back tomorrow. But crucially, there'll only be one table here in this magnificent arena, because at last it will be semi-final time. We will see you for a very thrilling Thursday. Bye-bye.